What's up, guys? Today on the show we have Nick from 14 Cannons Brewery in Westlake Village, California. I know Westlake Village is in LA County, but they're close enough that I've decided to include them in the show. Uh, he shares interesting stories about how the brewery started, where they got their name, and they also show what other things they do with the brewery outside of just serving beer to their community. Anyway, check it out and comment below. Let me know what you think. Nick from 14 Cannons Brewery in Westlake Village, California. Thanks for coming on the podcast today. I stopped by your brewery once before at the beginning of the shutdown. Um, was not able to go inside because of all the restrictions, but peeking my head in, it looks like a pretty nice place to have a beer. So let's start out with you introducing yourself and talking about your brewery.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Nick Bordelin. I'm the co-founder and head brewer, if you will, here at 14 Cannons. We're in Westlake Village, so we're kind of in between LA and Ventura. We're 3 years old now, and so we had our third anniversary during COVID, so didn't get to throw the wild parties that we were accustomed to in the past.
Right.
But nonetheless, we did a fun collab with our friends in Institution Ale Works for that, and had a lot of fun, as much fun as we could, being safe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, moving forward, we're happy to be reopened outside. So we have some patios in our front and back, and are safely serving again and keeping the beer fresh.
So I did a little research on the name and where it came from. I can give my choppy version of it that I looked up. Do you want to give the official, where did the name come from? And
Yeah, for sure. So we are owned by the Marshall Group. They are a general construction company, and they build breweries for a living. So most of the big breweries in LA and around the area are actually built by the Marshall Group, and that's how this whole brewery got started. Was we had a bunch of vendors that they've worked with and built dozens of breweries installing their equipment, and they finally said, like, can we give you some badass equipment to show off in your office? And that's why you've been to our brewery. Now we're in the back of an industrial park, right? It used to be a construction office for 30 plus years, and we tore all the walls out of it and put a brewery in it. And then when we figured out, like, oh man, we have a legit brewery now, we got to name it. We figured out that Marshall's great 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 uncle was the captain of a pirate ship, and that pirate ship was called the Tyrannicide, and it fought in the Revolutionary War. So it actually helped, win the war versus England, and was one of the first ships in the U.S. Navy, what later on became the Navy. And that ship had 14 cannons on it.
yeah,
And so, yeah, so some fun family history in it, because we just kept going, like, what do we call this? We didn't want to do the geography thing. We didn't want to say, like, oh, what's like brewing company?
right.
What's the nearest mountain range?
Yeah,
Like so many breweries have done.
right,
And so when we're like, dude, there's a pirate in the family,
right.
so let's kind of go with that nautical theme, but not be like cheesy Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
And I think we've done that well.
yeah. No long hair when I went to the brewery.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they called it officially a commerce raiding ship. So I guess they went out and they took all the supplies from the English ships that they've encountered on their journey and brought them back home. So everyone had stuff to use and supplies. So that's cool. And it's cool to have a story with your brewery. Like you said, you don't just general name of the street you're on. You have a
Right.
That's good. And I also noticed online that, like you said, you're I don't want to call it a showroom, but you have all the fancy equipment. Do you have a lot of people visiting that are, I guess, starting up their own brewery? Is it that kind
Absolutely.
of showroom that you give them the tour?
It's both, yeah. So we double as, we are a brewery, and we are a showroom for the Marshall Group. And so um, when someone wants to come test drive equipment, like, this is one of the few places that you can come do that. Like,
Right.
Most people would never go buy $100,000 car without being able to test drive it.
For sure.
And so often in the brewing industry, that's what you have to do. You take a leap of faith and go, well, I like this brew house.
Yeah.
But you can actually come here and work with me and learn how to use some of the equipment. So,
All right. That's cool.
yeah. And so we do that quite often.
So, do you guys follow a specific beer style, or is it what everyone likes to drink there, and that's what you brew, or
It is. It is the beer program is kind of my baby, and so I think that all of our styles reflect my brewing experience and my preferences for sure. When you come in, the first thing most people notice is we have a giant German lagering tank in the brewery, and that's something you typically don't see in a small 10-barrel craft brewery. And that's just because I love drinking lagers, and that's what many of the awards I've won in my brewing career are for. And so we wanted to do it right and kind of show off a fun lagering tank. And then at the same time, I got my start in Southern California professionally, and so West Coast IPAs are still king for me.
Right.
So all of our hoppy menu reflects a lot of West Coast IPAs. We lean pretty hard into that style because we're in Southern California. It's tried and true, so I think we're gonna stick with those.
Right. Yeah. The first time I went, I tried Tyrannicide.
Yep.
This time I picked up Patient Pilsner. So I'm gonna crack it open here. We won't tell anybody what time it is that we're having this beer.
For sure.
Yeah. Can you explain the beer and the style?
Yeah. So this has a great story behind it. This is a Czech style Pilsner, and the Czech style Pilsner is really what got me into brewing. I was fortunate enough my last year of college to study abroad. And I studied abroad in Prague in the Czech Republic, and that's when my eyes were like really open to beer culture in Europe and abroad. And I'd been a home brewer all through college. I started home brewing when I was 18 because we couldn't buy beer, so we made it.
Right.
That's how so many of us got our start. And I actually was studying music at the time. But I just was able to go to Pilsner Quell and all the great lager breweries in the Czech Republic. And so, definitely we wanted the Patient Pilsner here to be a flagship for 14 Cannons, and it is now. The sales are great.
Yeah.
It comes in those 12-ounce six packs right now, and in a couple months we're actually going to release it in 16-ounce cans as well.
All right. Yeah.
So we're stoked on that.
Yeah.
So when you drink it, it's a clear, crisp Pilsner. But being a Czech Pilsner, it's definitely got that hoppier finish to it.
Yeah.
You get kind of like some lemon almost notes from it. That's the difference between a German Pilsner and a Czech Pilsner. Is the Czech Pilsner is going to be a little hoppier. And I actually import a really fun hop variety called Kozbek, which is a unique hop that you probably haven't seen before. And that comes straight from the Czech Republic. And so I think that makes this beer really unique.
All right.
And yeah, it's a great flagship for us.
You're using true ingredients, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. No, yeah, it's good. It's a good. Beer is craft beer. When you pick it up from the person that makes it is good in general, right? So
yeah. Local's always best.
That's good. So we're all experiencing this, going through the pandemic and lockdown, and feel free to freely discuss your feelings on what we're going to discuss next. Everyone is on one side or the other on how it was handled. It was handled, it's great. It was really bad. Some people fall in the middle. How has, not in general, we understand how it's affected you and your brewery, but how is it giving you time to reflect on your business and how to make it more sustainable through times like this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you picked up the Pilsner because before COVID, that was not part of our core can lineup. And so one of the things that last year enabled us to do was expand our can offerings. So we own our own canning line, so we're very fortunate that we weren't in a pinch that a lot of breweries were trying to get their beer in cans. So that was a fantastic investment that paid off, for sure. And so we went from having just 2 core beers in cans and then a bunch of specialties. So now we have 4 core beers in cans. Just so we always have more can offerings because that's really what's selling during the pandemic when you can't have people in your tasting room and you need to be able to sell cans to go.
Right.
So we added the Pilsner to the year-round lineup, and then we also added our double IPA to the year-round lineup. And then the other 2 are our Tyrannicide, which you mentioned, our flagship IPA, and then also our Mexican lager, which is called Catorce.
Cool. Yeah, I have. It was a toss-up. I had to decide, so I decided to go with the Pilsner. Because even from the first time I went in, I think I went in July the first time on the way home from an LA trip, and you only had Tyrannicide and another
Right, right.
one. So now that you've had time to reflect, you know what you what's working and what's not. Going forward, are you going to keep these changes that you've found worked in your brewery?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, now we forever have four beers and cans, and we have a pretty ambitious specialty release calendar this year. Hopefully, we'll be having a new specialty drop every month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're we're including a new series into our cans, so we're gonna have a single hop series coming out, single hop IPA series. So that'll drop next month, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
We got some kind of wild and fun hops planned for that. So we're excited with that. And then the tasting room, a positive change, if we can look for some silver linings, all of this, is we got to add those patios. We
Mm-hmm.
always wanted some patios out front and out back,
Right.
but it was just an issue with the property management company and taking up parking spaces with the city.
Uh-huh.
So now, like the front patio, we're actually putting a nice wood deck down, and that's
Yeah, I
like
saw
here to
that.
stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to have that addition to the brewery.
Yeah, because it's not a huge brewery. Your taster room
No,
is,
no, it's
yeah,
a small square foot footprint for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, who are your? You get a lot of business from the business park around there. Are they
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
after work happy hour crew?
yep, we do that, and then we're also right across the street from the Four Seasons, so
Yeah.
that's really good business for us. Throughout the year,
Right.
we're on tap there, and so that's great that they
That's
always
cool.
send customers up because you can literally walk from the Four Seasons to the tasting room. So we get a
Yeah.
lot of great business from there, and then the local beer community has been super supportive of us.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good, no, one of the good things. At least, well, technically you're in LA County, I guess, right? But
We are, yeah.
close enough to Ventura County. The Ventura County is,
We're a couple hundred feet away from the county line.
yeah, that's kind of, I was trying to look for the exact,
Yeah,
line there.
it's two streets up, man. So
Right.
if we would just been two streets up, it would have been a lot easier.
Right. But the culture in Ventura County, beer culture, it's really big. Where at least me
It,
being, go
it's
ahead.
grown so much since I moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
I moved down here, 6 years ago to start a different brewery
Mm-hmm.
in the area, and there wasn't a huge beer scene even just 5, 6 years ago in Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Anagrin, Institution hadn't done their expansion yet,
Mm-hmm.
and then like we kind of like saw a bunch of smaller breweries opening in Ventura proper, and now they're
Mm-hmm.
blowing up, and it's great. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's been really fun to watch the beer culture in Ventura County explode the last 5, 6 years.
Yeah, for sure. So okay, so now it's I'm gonna hand it over to you so you can let everyone know where they can find you, what you got
Sure.
going on, any special events you have planned. So let everyone know where they can find 14 Cannons.
Yeah, definitely check us out on all the socials. It's just at 14 Cannons. 14cannons.com is our website. We do deliver still right now. That's a pandemic special, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So check out our shop, and we'll deliver cans and crowlers to you. And then come visit the tasting room. The outside is turning into a really nice vibe. Like I said, the wood deck we built, and some sexy mood lighting going on still, even though we're outside.
Yeah.
And then just follow up for our can releases. The first one's going to be this new single hop IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a lot of fun collabs planned this year. I will be doing a collab with Chris Enegren, and we
Okay.
have a super exciting Italian style Pilsner
Okay.
that we'll be releasing later in the year. And then we have a collab planned with Santa Monica Brewworks as well.
Okay.
They're great friends of ours, and so that'll be a fun LA collab for sure.
Uh-huh.
And check us out.
Cool. All right. Well, again, thanks for stopping by. Do you have anything else to tell everybody? This is your time to do it. If not,
support local breweries, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't buy your beer at the grocery store right now if you can avoid it. If you can avoid it, just go to whoever's closest to you. They need the love.
Yeah, and they're pretty much strategically placed around my route home. So
there it is.
It's great. All right. Well, Nick, thanks for stopping by and talking with us. And after this is all over, I'm planning. Actually, the vision that I had in mind when I first started this was to go inside the brewery and do interviews there and film, with the permission of the brewery, a tour of the brewery and put together a similar video
Yeah, that'd be great.
because of that. So I'm still planning on doing that. Going to give everyone a first round this way, and then go in and do a second one post pandemic. So yeah, we'll I'll see if we can hook up later to do that.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, cheers.
So there you have it, guys. 14 Cannons, Westlake Village, California. Make sure you give them a visit, pick up some beer from them, support their business and all local breweries. If you know someone that hasn't been on the show that you think should be interviewed, please tag them or send me their information at vcbreweries@gmail.com. I'll be sure to reach out to them and set up a time where we can interview them. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Share with people who are into beer and in the beer community. Support your local breweries. Let's keep them in business. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.